But Jimmy, that's why you brought him here, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, the TVs are going to replay his shot. I hope that they go a few seconds earlier and see him, dive on a floor and, secure a jump ball. Similar to the play he made in Charlotte where he saved it over his head and then came back and made it. There's another connection to this shot that he makes at the end of the game to win it for us. He was massive going down the stretch in the fourth period.
The look on your face when he hit that shot. What was going through it?
I was proud that we had come back and did what we did. I think it's a tremendous experience for these guys that really haven't played that much basketball together, and I was happy for them. They were down 20. We were down 17 in the third and 14 in the fourth, and I think Jimmy made 7 shots in a row or 6 in a row. Like he seemed to be really feeling good about himself, and he should have in the fourth period. And so my immediate thought was obviously thrilled for the win, but I'm happy for them. I think experiences like that matter, and it certainly can expedite bonding and having a reference point when you are down in other games that you can footnote this game.
In that last time out, was it just as easy as saying let's do the same thing every shot?
Pretty much.
What's it like having a guy you can have that kind of confidence in that position?
Well, when you're on the sidelines, you're always toggling. Do you let that play continue? We secured the jump ball. It was broken. The ball was in Jimmy's hands, and Joel was on his side. And inevitably it comes down to gut feel. Do you feel like you have something that's pretty good, and you're not going to get anything better that you draw? And that is there's no book that tells you how to do that. That's a read. It's a gut feel. It's a real-time decision. And I felt like we just didn't have the organization or the floor spots that I wanted. And so when we called the timeout, it didn't take long to decide what we were going to do. Again, we had a reference point from Charlotte, and we did it and changed, a little bit of what we call an X out initially to get JJ in that strong corner. We know JJ's man's not going to help, and Jimmy did what Jimmy does and what he's done, in front of us before.
Coach, what was the key defensively to limiting Russell and Dinwiddie in the fourth quarter?
I think we started blitzing, double teaming the pick and roll. We started getting more aggressive with that. It's always a challenge when you have, Joel at 7'2", to have him come flying out and be that aggressive and that extended, that far away from the basket all the time isn't fair. It's not going to be a constant thing that I think you can live in relation to pick and roll defense. In the fourth period, because D'Angelo was that good and things seemed quite easy for him, we had to make an aggressive adjustment. We chose to blitz, and I thought that changed the game for us defensively. I think they had 23 points in the fourth. So I give our guys credit for making that adjustment. Billy Lang helps us with that defense. I thought he did a great job of putting our guys in a position and making sure the people behind him, behind the blitz, were aggressive as well.
What did you see?
About the guards, like D'Angelo, he got hot hand. That's happened quite a few times this season. Guards have seemed to have an easy time with you guys. Where do you think that happens?
I mean, it's a tough league. It is a tough league, and it's hard, as you hear me say all the time, winning in the NBA. And I don't care what people's records are. The other night, we saw, what we saw, and with the Cleveland game, and then you see it again. They go beat Houston with the same type of action from their guards, and tonight you see D'Angelo, and it's just they put in pick and rolls. There are some skilled guards. Perhaps we can do more with the blitz going forward from time to time. It cannot be a steady diet of that. You cannot just live in that. It's not realistic. And so perhaps, we learned something too, where we can do that maybe more than we thought we could.
Look at the end of the first half, Landry Shamet, and also in that third quarter. What did you notice with him in terms of him just playing harder than everybody else out there?
Well, it's his spirit that I'm most attracted to, because there is zero back down in him, and he certainly does not lack confidence. and he will come off screens and look at the rim, find the target, and shoot, you know, some off-balance shots, some long shots, tough shots. And I think that his confidence and his spirit is the thing, like I said, that I'm most attracted to. He came in and gave us incredible service minutes as a backup off the bench. And, you know, when you trade and you lose two players that are starters, and now you're trying to, you know, look down the bench and find answers, it's at times a challenge. And I think that he really has grown to be an incredibly pleasant surprise, filling a role off the bench.
Coach, adjustments did you find it necessary to make it halftime?
I mean, it's really the pick and roll keeps coaches up very late at night, and it is the most frequently run offensive concept in the NBA for a reason. And so with these guys, it's always about that. You know, you can talk about some transition defense, other opportunities that I didn't feel so good about. But pick and roll defense, adjustments that we can make, how do we sort of double down and do what we do and just do it better, those types of things.
When you're going into that, your last possession when Jimmy
Two
hit
more
for
guys?
three, is that three the top option, or were there options to kind of get to the rim?
No,
given
that's
the
it.
score?
You know, you give them the ball and you win or you lose. And, you know, you do different things on the shot with crashing people on the offensive boards. I was most happy with the minute and a half beforehand, because on 3 successive possessions, these guys executed. You know, Joel on his Euro step, JJ on his shot, you know, executing out of a timeout. And I was thrilled with our ability to execute at the end. They tell me we're I guess the leading team in the NBA coming back from 15 points down to more three. I think it's 3. I think that slowly, and I hear that word slowly, you know, we're trying to figure each other out, but I thought that the execution down the stretch in crunch time with crunch time plays was excellent, highlighted at the end. It's just, you know, trying to get Jimmy the ball. It's a lot simpler than the previous plays.
You talk about offensive rebounds. Why do you think that that's kind of been a very stat for you guys? Kind of been up one night, really low the next night.
I mean, some of it is just how many missed shots are there to go get. Some of it's related to your shooting percentage. Some of it's related to just energy and effort. You know, if you go back and you look at the fact, the reality of how we came up with the ball twice in the last minute and a half, it was Wilson batting balls up 2 times. 2 times. And those energy plays, and I think we had 20-second chance points or something like that, it all adds up. And we had a season low 9 turnovers. And so at the start, you know, when we all talked, like, what's the key? That's where I went. You know, can you defensive rebound, and can you not turn it over? We ended up doing a hell of a job on the offensive boards, and I was thrilled that we only had 9 turnovers.
Thanks, Brett. Our locker room is
Thanks,
open now.
everybody. Thank you.